Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing in quite some time.
In a surprising twist that caught the basketball world off guard, Caitlin Clark finally spoke out after a week of rumors and speculation about her future in the WNBA. She took to Instagram to share her plans for the upcoming season.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
The basketball community was on edge as Caitlin Clark's social media went quiet after the Fever's controversial playoff exit. Fans and analysts were left wondering, would she come back? Was her historic season just a preview of what's next? Would she play for another team, or could she step away from basketball to pursue a different sport? With each day, the suspense grew. Then, on October 2nd, Clark's Instagram came alive. Her post, filled with gratitude for her freshman year, sent shockwaves throughout the league. In this video, we'll dive into what her decision means for the Indiana Fever and the future of the WNBA. We'll break down Clark's incredible season and explore how her choice could shape the sport. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ready? Let's go, because the moment of truth is here.
But make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is doing things beyond her years.
Clark's Instagram post was just the beginning. Behind her thoughtful words was a season that completely changed the game. How did one superstar manage to not only meet expectations but also break records in ways no one could have imagined? On October 2nd, 2024, Caitlin Clark's Instagram lit up with a message that made waves throughout the basketball world. Year 1, check, she wrote. Thank you to the many people who have supported me as I've been able to live my childhood dream. I'm filled with gratitude as I reflect on this past year of my life. See you all in year 2. With those words, Clark reassured fans she wasn't going anywhere. But what made her season so extraordinary? It wasn't just about breaking records, it was about completely crushing them. In her rookie year, Clark set a jaw-dropping 62 records, each one proving her unparalleled impact on the sport.
One of the greatest years of basketball with work put in by anybody ever?
Let's start with the numbers that had statisticians scrambling for new ways to describe her performance. Caitlin Clark averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. These weren't just impressive rookie stats, they were elite numbers by any standard in the league. Her 337 assists set a new record for the most assists in a single season, establishing a new benchmark for the entire league and highlighting her ability to elevate her teammates. But Clark didn't stop there. She accomplished something no freshman had ever done before, recording a triple-double, twice. And just when it seemed she couldn't top herself, her 19 assists in a single game shattered another record, proving her playmaking and court vision were in a league of their own. Clark's impact wasn't just about stats, though. She breathed new life into an Indiana Fever team that had been struggling for years. Under her leadership, the Fever finished with a 20-20 record, their first 20-win season since 2015. More importantly, she led them to their first playoff appearance in years, ending a long postseason drought.
That's our goal.
It's our goal to get to the playoffs.
Our goal is to be in the playoffs. Our goal is to just continue to be competing for a championship.
Clark's electrifying presence on the court didn't just lead to victories, it made her a fan favorite. Attendance at games soared, jerseys flew off the shelves, and suddenly, the Indiana Fever became must-see TV. Her ability to make her teammates better was clear every game, as she created opportunities and opened up the floor in ways that left defenders scrambling. As the records kept falling, the accolades followed. Clark was unanimously voted WNBA Rookie of the Year, a clear sign of her dominance. She also earned a spot in the All-Star Game, receiving the most votes, proving she could not only hold her own against the league's top stars but also excite fans like never before.
Caitlin Clark is way better, way sooner than anybody thought.
What made Clark's achievements even more remarkable was how she handled the immense pressure. Coming into the league with massive expectations, she didn't just meet them, she surpassed them. Her poise under the spotlight, her ability to deliver in clutch moments, and her unwavering focus drew comparisons to basketball legends like Larry Bird, Pistol Pete Maravich, Steph Curry, and even the great Michael Jordan. But perhaps the most significant part of Clark's season was how it changed what we thought was possible for a rookie in the WNBA. She didn't just raise the bar, she sent it soaring into the stratosphere. Future rookies will now be measured against Clark's incredible standard, a benchmark that feels almost impossible to reach. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Now, let's get back to it.
But she also did it with the spotlight on her at a very young age. Fame is hitting this young lady's life. And very, very rarely did I see a misstep or something that I wouldn't want to show my daughter. Literally every step of the way, it's just like, watch her, watch how she plays, watch how she handles her business.
As Clark's star continued to rise, so did the target on her back. The phenom who had taken the WNBA by storm was about to face challenges that would push her like never before. Her record-breaking season had captured the attention of fans, but it also brought with it intense scrutiny and unexpected controversies. The playoffs were meant to be Clark's crowning moment, but instead, they became the center of a firestorm that surrounded the young star. During a critical game against the Connecticut Sun, Clark was left shaken after an eye poke. What should have been a routine play quickly became a topic of heated debate across the basketball world. Clark went down, but surprisingly, no foul was called.
As everyone else has seen this angle, I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
Questions about player safety and officiating quickly followed, as fans and analysts reviewed every replay of the incident, debating the intentions behind the poke. The controversy reached its peak when USA Today columnist Christine Brennan suggested that the poke might have been intentional. This sparked outrage from the WNBA Players Association, further fueling the debate.
When you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am.
But the eye poke was just the start. Did you know that Clark was on the receiving end of 17% of all flagrant fouls called in the league? Let that sink in. Out of 144 players in the WNBA, one player took an unfair share of the hits. And that's not even counting all the times flagrant fouls weren't called. If they had been, the number could have easily doubled. The team responsible for 80% of those fouls? The Chicago Sky, whose head coach was just recently fired. Now, why is it that when Caitlin Clark is hit with excessive contact, fouls often go uncalled, but when she slaps the rim padding, it results in an instant technical foul? Let's not even get into the it's in the rulebook debate. Here's DeWanna Taurasi doing the exact same thing, but no technical was called on her. Why does it seem like there's a double standard when it comes to officiating Clark?
Let me show you.
Picks off the pass, and DeWanna Taurasi.
Look at that. Bro, she just did the same exact movement as what Clark did, except Clark hit it lower. DeWanna did it straight on and loud.
Picks off the pass, and DeWanna Taurasi, they'll count the bucket. And one coming up for DT.
Right in front of the rest, blatantly not even acting on it.
As Clark's fame grew, so did the darker side of online hate. But her response to adversity only added to her growing legend. Despite the swirling controversies, Clark's focus never wavered. Her ability to rise above the noise and continue performing at an elite level earned her the respect of both teammates and opponents. The controversies surrounding her season highlighted the complicated nature of modern sports. On one hand, her unprecedented success brought new excitement and attention to the WNBA. On the other, it exposed her to an intense level of scrutiny and criticism that few players have ever faced. Yet through it all, Clark's resilience stood out. Every challenge seemed to only fuel her determination. The eye poke incident, along with many others, became a turning point, sparking important discussions about player safety and the need for better officiating.
Yeah, I think just being competitive is who I am. It's what I've done my whole career. I think at times there's ways I can probably channel it a little bit better, but that's just basketball at the end of the day. No, that's never gonna change. I'm never gonna lose that. I feel like I'm getting hammered. I don't know. I appreciate Christy getting a tech too. I don't know.
While the controversy surrounded her, something unprecedented was unfolding behind the scenes. The WNBA was about to experience a transformation like never before in its 27-year history. So, what exactly did Caitlin Clark do that had everyone, whether diehard fans or casual observers, glued to their screens? The answer lies in what can only be called the Caitlin Clark effect. Her impact on the WNBA wasn't just about her performance on the court, it was a game-changing shift that completely reshaped the entire landscape of women's sports. Her presence alone helped catapult the league into new territory, breaking viewership records that had stood for over 2 decades.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
Let's talk numbers. During Clark's debut season, an incredible 21 broadcasts featuring her drew over 1 million viewers each. This wasn't just a small increase, it was a huge leap for a league that had struggled to consistently reach those numbers in the past. The Indiana Fever, once an afterthought in the WNBA, suddenly became must-see TV. And the one thing all those games had in common? Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. But it wasn't just about the viewership. Clark's magnetic presence translated into packed arenas. The Indiana Fever set an all-time WNBA record, averaging over 17,000 fans per home game. To put that into perspective, this was the same team that had the second worst attendance just a season earlier. In just 1 year, Clark turned the Fever's home court into the hottest ticket in town. Even away games became so popular that opponents had to book larger arenas whenever the Fever were in town.
The WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth of the league.
Clark's influence went far beyond just basketball. She became a social media sensation, amassing over 2.9 million Instagram followers. It wasn't just about the game anymore. Clark had transcended the sport, becoming a cultural icon. Elevate those around her. Her playing style, marked by perfect passing and clutch scoring, brought out the best in her teammates. The Fever set a franchise record for assists in a single season, with Clark herself breaking multiple assist records. She didn't just score, she made everyone on the court better. Clark's impact in the WNBA drew comparisons to none other than Michael Jordan. Analysts pointed to her ability to bring in unprecedented attention and commercial appeal to the league, much like Jordan did for the NBA during his legendary career, which was built on the foundation laid by Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the 80s. It wasn't just talk, the numbers proved it. Clark's playoff debut drew an average of 1.84 million viewers, the highest for any WNBA playoff game since the 2000 finals. Then, Game 2 reached 2.5 million viewers, breaking the record set just days earlier.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational, and I just, as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did, and we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
What's perhaps most remarkable about the Clark effect is how it lifted not just the Fever, but the entire WNBA. Every team saw a boost in fan engagement during her rookie year. It was as if Clark's star power had a gravitational pull, bringing new eyes and excitement to women's basketball across the board. WNBA legend Tamika Catching summed it up perfectly when she said Clark had revitalized not just the Fever, but the entire city of Indianapolis, and the league as a whole. Catchings drew comparisons to how Magic Johnson and Larry Bird transformed the NBA, suggesting that Clark's impact could be just as revolutionary for the women's game.
Yeah, I think it can't be overstated enough, like what she did to bring eyes to that sport. Whether people want to admit it or not, it's just a fact.
As the dust settled from her record-breaking rookie season, speculation ran wild. Would Clark be a one-season wonder or the cornerstone of a dynasty? Her long-awaited social media post finally ended the silence, but it sparked more questions than answers. "See you all in year 2, she wrote. With those words, Clark confirmed her commitment to the Indiana Fever and the WNBA, sending waves of excitement through the basketball world. But what does her decision really mean for the future of the Fever and the league? Her season wasn't just impressive, it was historic. The future is now. The future is red hot. The future is Fever. The excitement surrounding Clark's return is undeniable. Her presence on the court doesn't just win games, it fills seats and captivates audiences. Now, with a full season under her belt and the chance to build on her already remarkable resume, expectations for year 2 are sky high.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Not a female superstar, she is a superstar.
We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play.
She moves the needle. The WNBA has been looking for someone who moves the needle.